Right here, I'm back. I'm here to do my spring TBR, books that are on my spring TBR. I am determined to read the books on my spring TBR. Determined. We will see how successful I am. My spring tends to go to the end of June, just because that's when school's over. So that's what my spring is. Really, it gets hot here in June. But that's why you will notice a lot of summer related books on my TBR. But I do have some middle grade. I have a nice assortment. So let's get into it. The first book is the one that I'm actually currently starting. I'm about a chapter in. But it's Tristan Storm Punches a Hole in the Sky by Kwame Mablali. I have enjoyed all of the Rick Riordan Presents novels. This one has been one that I have had since 2019. Actually, it's not even mine. It's my friend Sarah's. But I have borrowed it for an exceptionally long amount of time. But the series is complete. I love this author on Twitter. It is an epic fantasy middle grade American god set in a richly imagined world populated with African American folk heroes and West African gods. Sounds delightful. I'm really excited for this one. I've read about 14 pages, but so far I'm really enjoying it. Another book that I'm very excited to read is Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. This is a darling Oxford rebel takes on a powerful duke in a love story that threatens to upend the entire social order. I will admit, after Bridgerton, I'm on a bit of a kick. So this one is one that was supposed to be on my Bridgerton TBR, but I just ran out of time and didn't get around to it. But I've heard the best things about this one in the series, and I thought this one had to do with voting, but maybe it didn't. But it takes place in England, and her scholarship at Oxford University demands that she recruit men of influence to champion the rising women's suffragette movements. So yeah, it does have to do with the women's suffragette movement. I'm really excited. I've heard mixed things about the other two books in the series, but I did hear pretty good ones about this one, so I'm excited for this one. That I've had on my TBR for so long, and that's Nearly Gone by Elle Cosimano. I have read her more recent stuff. I read her adult series, Finley Down is Killing It, which is the same author. This is a darker and more grittier murder mystery, and it follows a character named Nearly. And she hasn't told anyone, but the emotion she can taste when she brushes up against someone's skin. That sounds like such a unique premise, and there's a serial killer that is starting to take out people in her school, and she is the only one that can decipher the clues. Her mom is an exotic dancer. It sounds great. I've had this book for so long. I think I got this a very, very long time ago. I got this one back many, many years ago because I got it signed at Books of Wonder. So I'm really excited for this one. Hope that I like it, and there is a sequel. But yeah, so let's get to the other books on my TBR. The book I'm going to chat about is one that I've had on my TBR for so long. I think I got this at Book Outlet a while ago. It's called Corner of White, and it is a mix, it's a portal fantasy story about this character and her mother. They wind up running away from this magical world, I think, and then they get sucked into this modern day world, and then you follow another character named Elliot who was searching for his father. The night that his father went missing, his uncle was murdered, and they wind up connecting through a portal. The summary sounds like a lot. I will say that. It just is a lot of information, but again, sort of with a bunch of books on my TBR, like the next one I'm going to chat about. They've just been on my TBR for a while, and I either have two thoughts when I read these books. I either adore them or I don't like them. So we will see how this one falls, but it is actually on my April TBR, as well as the next one, so maybe they'll get read sooner rather than later. The next one is another one that I've had on my TBR for a while, but I do have some experience with this author. I read her mystery, Long May She Reign, and really liked it. This is a Sleeping Beauty retelling, and it's A Wicked Thing is a surprising, spellbinding reimagining of what happens after Happily Ever After. The prince wakes her up. All of her family's dead. She feels a little bit isolated, but a young rebel might start showing her what it is to be happy after all. Sounds really cute. I really did like her other novel. It was very, very fast-paced, super engaging, so I hope I like this one as well. Sorry if you hear my phone going off. I'm participating in the Aurelian battles this week or this month, and I want to be able to get a quest this weekend, so that's why my phone's next to me. If you hear the beeping, that's why. And the next one is another one I got from Book of the Month, and I just read it, and it is I have had such good luck with reading cozy, what I would call cozy mysteries. This one sounds delightful. It's called The Verifiers by Jane Peck. It was a Book of the Month pick, I think in February, But this is Verifiers is a witty, incisive examination of how technology shapes our choices and the nature of romantic love in the digital age. And she winds up getting recruited as an online detective agency in New York with its own secrets, and she's a lifelong mystery reader. I'm really excited about this one and hope that I like it. These two are on my April TBR, but I am really excited about this one as well. Books are books that I am also really excited for. The first one is There's Something About Sweetie by Sanaya Mignon. This is one that's like the companion novel to When Dimple Met Rishi. I have read all of the books by this author except for 10 Things I Hate About Pinky. So if I can read this and 10 Things I Hate About Pinky, I will have caught up on her backlist, which I'm really excited for. This one does have a plus size heroine, and yeah, and I think that you do see Aisha Patel in the When Dimple Met Rishi. But yeah, Sweetie is like a formidable track star who can outrun most people. She has traditional like, and then she winds up meeting this boy who is like, I think this one was when he was like a hopeless romantic, but he had a lot of trouble with love recently, and their paths crossed. It sounds super cute. I'm really excited and hope that I like it. Another book is one that I've literally, I got this from the publisher like so long ago, and I've just haven't got around to reading it. But this is In Every Generation by Ken Dare Blake. This is a book set in the Buffyverse, but it follows Willow's daughter, which I am really excited for. Willow's like one of my favorite characters in the entire Buffyverse. So just to see her even in some sense in this, there is a sequel to this book coming out next year. They also do having a Spike one coming out, which I will definitely be getting my hands on, but I really do want to read this. Have literally had it on every single TBR since December. So, yeah. And then the next book is a thriller that and again, sort of like Nearly Gone, I've had for so many months, and that is I Hunt Killers by Barry Lyga. Jazz is the son of a famous serial killer. And now he has to work to prove that he is not the murderer that is committing these murders. It sounds really interesting, though. I've had it for quite a while. And I have read other stuff by Barry Lyga and really have enjoyed it. But, and again, thrillers tend to take, like, place in my TBRs in a lot of the year, but especially in the summer and the fall. So, we're getting there. So, yeah, I'm really excited for these and hope that I actually make time to read them. That is always the problem. Chat about is Always Jane by Jen Bennett. This is her newest release. It is set in Los Angeles, which is nice. It also does follow a main character named Jane, and she is the daughter of a chauffeur, so she works with the Hollywood elite, well, the Hollywood elite, and she winds up having a long distance relationship with one of the sons. But when they actually are face to face, things don't go according to plan. When the older brother returns, and romance, hilarity, and maybe a love triangle ensues. But yeah, there's also a dog on the front cover, and whenever there's a dog, I'm always invested right off the bat. So I'm really excited for this one and hope that I can read it soon. I am thinking I'm going to do like a new releases by authors. Like, I know a couple authors have books coming out that I just ordered, so maybe I'll do a reading vlog for a week, like reading all of like the newer releases. Another book on my TBR is The Choreographers by Ping Shepard. This is another, like, again, I'm picking up a lot of adult books recently because they sound so interesting. This one follows a girl named Nell. She loves working. She has a passion for cartography, but she had a big fight with her dad, and her dad just sort of fired her over a map of a gas station highway map. And then her dad's dead. Her dad dies, and she winds up realizing that maybe there is more to this map than meets the eye, and it says, it's perfect for fans of Jonah Hill. B.E. Schwab is an ode to art, science, history, magic, and a spectacularly imaginative modern story about the ancient crafts and places of self-discovery. So, I'm excited for this one and hope that I get around to reading it soon. I do have quite a few, like, adult books on my TBR, but this might be one of the next ones I would like to try to read. And then another book that I've had so long is The Glow of Fireflies by Lindsay Dugan, or Duga, I guess. And this follows a girl named Brent Byrony, and she has to return to her hometown, but she has no memory of what happened when she was last there. But when she goes there, things don't go according to plan. She has to protect her grandma because her grandma's getting sick. But then she winds up starting to uncover what happened when she was last there, and she winds up meeting this guy named Alder who claims he was her childhood best friend, and it's just a lot of mystery and intrigue, but also one that I'm really intrigued by. I've had this on my TBR for quite a while, but this cover is also super pretty. The glow of fireflies seems like a perfect spring cover as well. So, and now I'll talk about the other books on my TBR. A lot of like thrillers off my shelves, which is not normally what I gravitate towards, but they are quicker, and because I've been reading a lot more of adult, I just think that they're nice like break books, but also these are books that I've had on my TBR for so long. The next one is The Safest Lives by Megan Miranda. It follows a character named Kelsey, and her mom basically has told her like never leave the house. Her mother hasn't set outside their front door in 17 years since she escaped her kidnappers with nothing more than her attacker's baby growing inside her, Kelsey. They have to keep her low profile for their protection. But when her mother's missing, she has to try to help her, to try to help find her, figure out what's going on, and she has a boy that is going to help her. I have read one book by Megan Miranda, but this one sounds a little bit more intense and a little bit more adventure-y, but I'm really excited for it. And then the other book is one that it's probably going to come out in April, but it's Very Bad People by Kit Frick. I read I Killed Zoe Spanos and really, really enjoyed it. This book also does deal with the past. Revenge is a dangerous game in this pulse-pounding, dark academia thriller, perfect for fans of pretty people like us and female of the species. Calliope's mother drowned after driving the family van into the lake with her daughters inside, and the truth behind the accident remains a mystery. Now that daughter has transferred to Tipton Academy, where she's going to try to uncover the secrets of the Haunt and Rail social society. And I think that they're trying to expose a bad actor on campus. It sounds really interesting. I really did like her first book, but again, a lot of thrillers. So this one will be one that I'm really excited for. And the last book I'm going to chat about in this video is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Soon Lin Tan. And this is also another mythology-themed novel. I have said it's a mix between YA and adult, so I don't know what it's going to be. I've heard okay things about it, but the cover just captured me, so I really hope that I like it. It is technically on my April TBR, but we will see if I get around to it. So before I end this video, I just want to say that I am going to try to hold myself a little bit more accountable with these seasonal TBRs. And if at the end of the season I don't finish reading any of these books, I either have to read them in the summer, which is the next season, or I have to get rid of them. Especially books that have been on my TBR for a while, which there are a couple on here, so they're I'll talk about them as I read them. But there are about 5 books in this TBR nearly gone. I Hunt Killers. A lot of them have been books that are on my TBR for a while, so if I don't read those at this point, I have to unhaul them. So just a little bit more incentive. Maybe you guys will take me up on my challenge, and I'll talk to you guys later for my next video. Bye, friends.